conversation.
You're welcome to your favorite program, The Conversation.
Hello there, and welcome to The Conversation. Our guest today is a legislator representing Izego constituency in Enugu State. His name is Right Honorable Barrister Chima Obieze.
The conversation.
Immediately.
I understand there was a time there was something you organized for your community during the COVID-19 lockdown. You were able to galvanize your community globally to raise some.
Yes, but I would not take credit for that because it was a community effort. Even though I was the one that initiated it. Yes. The thing is, during the lockdown, I moved to the village because we were not going to work. The House of Assembly was under lock and key because of COVID, rise in the case of COVID. So we had to take my family to the village. So while in the village, I saw how much our people were suffering. You know, sometimes some persons who were doing businesses in Onitsha and Enugu had also come back to the village. And their business is such that it is what they get after the daily trade that they will use to feed their family for the next day. So now that they have moved to the village because of the lockdown, the business was not going on and there was no food for anybody. So, and of course, you know, every Nigerian believes that the houses of politicians are where you go and you must get something. So people were knocking on my door, on my gate, you know, on a daily basis. You know, sometimes some people will just come to eat and go. And then some will come to tell you that their family don't have anything. They actually need something to take home. And then when I thought about what it would take to provide food that would last for up to 2 weeks or more for these families, I knew it was not something only me can do. So what I did was to bring together different persons from my community, you know, and then I made them understand the need for us to assist our people back in the village. So globally, everybody from Akamoe contributed. Global, every well-meaning person in Akamoe.
How much were you able to raise?
We were able to raise close to 10 million, I think about 8 point something.
Within 2 weeks?
Within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yes, and then we purchased food items, and those food items got to every household in Akamoe.
Wonderful.
Every household would give a bag of rice, 2 bags of yam, also give some cash.
Wonderful.
You know. So
now I want to. That's wonderful because.
And then we have also been we have a scholarship scheme where indigent but brilliant students from Eziago get trained by us. You know, but you have to be brilliant and indigent because you know I do not have much. My salary and allowances is not even up to $500,000 every month. So when you calculate that for 1 year, it is not up to 6 million. And when you compare the things that we need to do to give back to the people, it is much. I have done 2 boreholes. You know, one in Okonito, Mbago, in Akamoe, one in Ngodo, in Akamoe. I also attracted through Senator Ike Ekweremadu, one borehole in Agolo, Enugu Nabwani, Oboli Umwezag. We also have one borehole there too, attracted by me and former Commissioner Joe Udede through Senator Ike Ekweremadu. There's also another borehole attracted to Akamoe by Professor Udede through the same Senator Ike Ekweremadu. You understand? And there are also other water projects that I have also attracted through Enugu State Rural Water Scheme, ERUWASA.
Okay. Well, people will be asking, what will you give credit to the fact that there's been a bit of stability in security, and not just in mostly southeast and your Eziago local government area?
But in terms of security, Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, I don't know, I can beat my chest and say he's the best in the whole country. A lot of people don't see this because the man does things seamlessly. He doesn't brag about it. You could recall that sometime 2 years ago, there was a time there was surge in kidnappings in Enugu. They said they were a new breed of Fulani herdsmen who were kidnapping people randomly in Enugu. So from different places, from different locations, people were being kidnapped, and a whole lot of people went on social media to criticize the administration. But now they no longer see such incidents of kidnapping, and I know they might not know why they no longer hear about such incidents in Enugu State. Something was done. The governor set up different security outfits. We empowered the neighborhood watches in various communities. We had the forest guards who went into the forest, not to drag the herdsmen out, but for the herdsmen to know them, and they will know the herdsmen, so that when they see new faces that are not part of those who are rearing cattle, we know that there are new persons who are now here in the community, and perhaps those are the people who come to commit the mayhem, because among these herdsmen there are also some good ones, who would come, who would respect the host community, who would just feed their cattle and do their business and go peacefully. But then there are also these other ones who are merely interested in doing some sharp practices, criminality. So the presence of these forest guards have helped so much to improve security. In the bushes where these men thought that when they run into, nobody would enter there. There are no forests or bushes in Enugu where you do not have forest guards in place. Wow. And they know the herdsmen that are in that locality, and those herdsmen know them. So for every ugly incident involving kidnapping or maybe damage to people's farms, the men of forest guards know, once they know the location, they know the herdsmen who to talk to. Okay. And that this have helped so much. And there are so many other things that he has done. Issues of security are not what you discuss so openly. So I would not begin to discuss a few government strategies security-wise that I am aware of. But I want the people of Enugu, and indeed anybody in Nigeria who wants to come into Enugu, to know that Right Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has done so much for security in Enugu. And when you talk about stability, also, when there is political fights, tussles, struggles, it also leads to insecurity. Because that's where politicians begin to arm some boys to attack their opponents. And this will breed insecurity. Do you understand? Yes. In Enugu, the governor have carried everybody along. Everybody, all political players from different divides, all people of different religious denominations and inclinations, people from different political parties. The governor has no enemy. The song by Fela that water, get enemy. The governor has basically no enemy. I've not seen anything like this. I cannot believe that it is possible that there can be a governor with so much consensus. Before he does anything, he's a consensus builder. This is the first time we have a governor that is working very well with Chima Obieze, the former governor of old Anambra State, that is working very well with Senator Ken Namani, the former Senate President, working very well with Senator Ike Ekweremadu, the former Deputy Senate President, working very well with Governor Chima Namani, working very well with Governor Kwesile Nwodo, working very well with Governor Sullivan Chime, working very well with Chief Nwodo, the former and former minister too, working very well with, name it, senator, almost all the former senators, all the former speakers, all the former House of Rep members,
But
It is difficult.
I agree with you, but I'll ask you a question. I would like you to make the response as brief as possible. Do you believe that the governorship in Enugu State should be zoned? I would like you to just tell us if you agree with zoning arrangement. Or
I've actually, before now, I've actually made my position very, very clear.
Okay.
You see, while the constitution gives anybody that wants to contest any election power, I can decide to run for president now. Nobody will stop me. But if you decide to belong to a political party, it means you must abide by the rules, the regulations, the conventions and practices of that political party. Enugu is a PDP state. I don't know if you understand. So if anybody who wants to do things differently from the way PDP does it, you're free to try out other parties. There are numerous political parties in Nigeria and in Enugu State. But here, we are PDP. And in PDP, we try to carry all the different senatorial zones, different divides of the state along in our decision making. That is why we believe that if these people go today, these other people will go tomorrow.
So you believe in zoning?
I believe in zoning, but then with a clause in picking who becomes governor, because the position of governor is a sensitive and powerful position. You must present people who are credible, who are competent, who have proven character to lead. People who would, this is 21st century, we need leaders who would make Enugu State fly.
Okay.
And I do believe that we have people who can do that in different senatorial zones. So if it is the turn of my senatorial zone, you cannot tell me that there is a genius in another senatorial zone that will come and take the turn of my people. You see, let me tell you, it was in America that George Bush Sr. was president, handed over to Bill Clinton, and had his son take over from Bill Clinton. Their democracy has evolved so much that what the people are not looking at, even if you want to hand over to your son, what the people is looking for is just anybody who can do what they want. Down here in Africa, we are not yet ripe. I belong to a minority senatorial zone in Enugu State. Enugu West senatorial zone. We are the minority in Enugu State. The Nsukka zone have over 50% of the voting strength. The Nkanu zone have close to 30%, and then we have the rest. Now the question is, if you throw it open in a society like ours, where people are very sentimental about their ethnic inclinations or their cultural inclinations, if I may. If you throw it, if you say, okay, anybody can, it means that the Nsukka person or somebody from Enugu North Senatorial Zone can be governor, hand over to another person from that same zone, hand over to another person from that, because they have, if they come together to say that they want people from their zone, it means they can be governor back to back and back to back.
Okay.
But the zoning allows for them to say, okay, in the spirit of fairness and justice, since we are brothers, since somebody have been governor from our side, let us allow somebody to also be governor. And you cannot divorce the fact that in the African political cosmology, when people get into power, they tend to apply the principle of charity begins at home by bringing development more to the side from where they come.
Yeah.
You understand? And so, if you allow somebody from a particular zone to hand over to somebody from a particular zone, it means that that zone will be steadily developed more than people from other zones. So, but if somebody from this zone comes in, we are not saying that the person takes all the development to their people. The person will definitely develop the whole of the state, but then there must be something. You don't expect that Buhari will do exactly the thing he has done for his people in the north to people of other zones in Nigeria. But then there is a standard that everybody must get in terms of development. But then there must be something that shows you come from this area. In fact, even if you don't do it, people from that your zone will fight you. You know, what did he do for us after he went there? now before it will be our turn again, it will be another 16 years. Yet this opportunity we got, what did he do for us? A lot of people say it about Governor Sullivan Chime because he was a pan-Enugu person. He was not thinking about Udi, Abaja, Enugu West. He was thinking about even development. And I can tell you that the road he did from Penox straight to Nsukka, I don't think he did any road like that in the whole of Enugu West. Through, that's the road from Nike, from Ugugu Nike to Opi. It's a massive developmental project.
Yes. Now, I want to...
And then he was Governor Ugwuanyi who came and then went to do his own road from Enugu North to Udi. That is the Making Hill, yes, which he could not do, which the Ngo people hated him. How can you be our brother, be governor for 8 years, and you didn't do this road? But to him, when he was governor, he felt that the Nike, through Ugugu Nike to Opi road was more important priority because he was a pan-Enugu person. But
actually, that's what we need everywhere in governance.
But people, exactly, people like that are hard to come by. Okay. You understand? We're talking about the reality, our essential reality as a people. So this thing has to go from zone to zone so that we all have even development.
On a final note, I would like to ask you, people would like to know, after this, what next? What is your political ambition after this?
Can you ask God?
No, I'm not asking God. I'm asking Right Honorable Barrister Chima Obieze.
Okay,
Honorable Barrister Chima Obieze, I would like to know what next after this position.
Okay, I'll be very, very glad to let you know that I have no ambitions right now. I have one ambition now. That ambition is I have 2 years and 1 month to serve out this my tenure. And I want to use it to support the administration of Right Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. There are a lot of things. I want him to write his name in gold as he leaves office. He has already started doing that. I want him to do more. For the first time, under my supervision as the chairman, House Committee on Works, we are doing the first flyover. Aside the ones that the white men did, we are doing the first flyover in Enugu, to be done by a serving governor of Enugu State Extraction. So we are doing a flyover at T-Junction in Ababanike. There are also numerous other flyovers that we are going to embark upon within this year, and we will complete them before the end of this tenure. These are legacy projects. There has to be something that people would talk about when they talk about the man. So my ambition right now is to help the governor succeed in the remaining years of his tenure. What happens beyond that is not for me to decide. It is for God to decide. And I'm a child of God, and I listen to the voice of God. I also listen to the voice of the people. Now is the time for governance. When the time for politics come, I will listen to the voice of God. I will listen to the voice of the people, and then I will know if I have any ambition.
All right. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity
to
talk with you. And I'm sure we are glad that you have educated us so much about Enugu State and how you came from, how do I say it, from being a little boy to somebody that's going to be a great person.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure you agree with me that my conversation with Right Honorable Barrister Chima Obieze, representing Ezeagu constituency in the Enugu State House of Assembly, Nigeria, was very thoughtful and insightful. Please stay tuned next week for another edition of the program, The Conversation with Arthur Ejiofor. See you next time.